Welcome back. You're looking live at the manicured grounds surrounding Centennial Hall, the crown jewel and best-known landmark here in Wroclaw, Poland. Site of Stage 4 of the 2013 Archery World Cup campaign. Along with Rio Wild of Team USA, I'm Carl Archie, putting out the welcome mat here in Poland and welcoming Rio Wild. Congratulations on another gold medal this morning in the men's team competition.
Oh, thanks. It was good to get back in the gold medal after the last two World Cups ended up with silver. So.
Yeah, it was a little frustrating in Antalya and Medellin, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
So congratulations to Team USA for coming out with a victory there. Interesting to sit back and watch this here this afternoon. A little bit about this site, Rio. What's it like shooting here in Poland?
It's a nice event. I mean, the grounds we've shot on all week have been really secluded from the wind. Really great scores have been shot. As for here, there's a little breeze coming off the fountain, so it's a little different change from what we've had, but all in all, nothing too severe, nothing like we faced in Colombia or in Antalya. So.
I did notice a situation this morning during the team medal matches that sometimes when those fountains were up and the wind was blowing, there was a little bit of a mist that was coming across the field.
Yeah, you could see it. It was a definite challenge with the guys sitting there, and you could see the mist across the front of the bales, and some of the guys even said it was hard to see and hard to decipher from. So.
We'll see how it plays out this afternoon with the wind and the mist and the fountains here on the grounds of Centennial Hall in Wrocław, Poland, where we're getting set now for the compound bronze medal mixed team match. By the way, in mixed team competition, 2 athletes, a male and a female per country. Competition plays out over 4 ends, 2 arrows per competitor in each end. So a mixed team will take 16 shots to decide the winner. Once again, we use cumulative scoring to decide the mixed team matches and the individual matches as well. All right, in the mixed team bronze medal match, it will be Mexico taking on the Netherlands. Mexico 6th seed and the Netherlands the number 3 seed. There's a look at the team from Mexico, Marta Hernandez and Gerardo Alvarado, who you said was coming on a little bit strong here of late.
Yeah, he earlier this year in a tournament in Guadalajara did very well. You know, like I said, it's kind of different to see 2 new people. I mean, you're used to seeing Julio and Linda, so you know it's just different to see how guys are coming along and getting close to the end of the year in the World Championships, see where their progress is.
Yeah, good opportunity for those 2 youngsters to show what they can do. And now the team from the Netherlands taking to the field of battle here in Wrocław, Poland. And of course, this is Peter Elzinga and Inge van Kaspel, two veterans who got here by winning a shoot-off with Great Britain, beating Belgium before losing by 3 to the United States. By the way, Mexico qualified for this mixed team bronze medal match by defeating Australia and Italy before falling to the Russian Federation. But there's Peter Elzinga, who competed this morning, had to shoot through that mist as it was blowing across the fountain, and then of course right in front of the targets here in Wrocław, where we've had excellent weather all week long, great conditions, and really a wonderful setting for this 4th stage of the 2013 Archery World Cup. So just about set to go as the Netherlands will take on Mexico, and Peter Elzinga will try to capture the medal that eluded him this morning. So on target number 2, it's the Netherlands. And of course, Mexico shooting on target number 1. And Inge van Kaspel to shoot first.
Good start.
What does that do for your confidence?
It helps you. Besides, it helps the person coming behind. They don't feel the pressure to have to make up for them. And looks like the sun must be coming across pretty good. Peter's got his hat laid over to the side to kind of help block that coming in. And it's down there on them rocks. It's really bright.
Op de lijn, boven.
Seems to be on the line, but we'll have to wait and see for sure. But a good start for the Netherlands. And now something for Mexico to shoot for. This is Marta Hernandez, 23 years old. Began competing back in 2008 and is ranked 149th in the world. A little bit low with her first shot. And this is really a feeling out period for somebody who hasn't been out there before.
Yeah, oh, it's a tough one because and a lot of times they do something different than in the finals. You can shoot 2 arrows apiece. But when you get the finals, you have to rotate through. So sometimes that can add a little extra pressure onto them and can cause a lot of differences for guys that don't practice it that way.
Sure. So a tough start for Mexico. Hernandez and Alvarado.
The wind seems to be moving around a lot.
But Inge van Kaspel able to handle it well. Inge with a 10 and a 9 on her first 2 shots.
And Peter's really shot pretty good this year. He's, as of late, he qualified #1 at Medellin, and then I think he was #3 here. And so, I mean, he's been shooting a lot of good qualification scores. You just got to get it to put together in the eliminations.
There have been a lot of guys who've been shooting very consistently. You have had kind of a
up and down
sort of a season, but you look at somebody like Martin Damsbo and Peter Elzinga, they're just right there all the time.
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting it together at the right time. I mean, this weekend there was some awesome scores shot. I mean, when you have 3 out of the 4 guys shoot a perfect 150 to get into the finals match, it's a level that's just hard to hang with.
Well, the level of competition is definitely coming up, isn't it, Rio?
Oh, it is. I mean, you always used to hear, oh, the U.S. is so dominant, but there's a lot of good shooters anymore. And I mean, you can see that like in Mexico. I mean, you've got 2 new people there, and there's a lot of great shooters coming up, and the more the sport grows, the more we're going to have, and it's just good to see, new people, new faces, and the scores go up. It's great for the sport.
Do you think it will be possible for somebody to do again what you did last summer, where you dominated so much, and each and every event, basically you were almost every event shooting for a gold medal?
It's tough to say. I mean, Roger did it the year before, kind of, in a way. So I can't say that it can happen, but it is tough. I mean, we look at Dominique this weekend, shot a 150 with an X to lose to go into the bronze medal match. So, you get a weekend like this, it could knock you out and keep you out of it. So, most of the time if you shoot well, you're rewarded. But it can happen anytime with a head-to-head format.
It just goes to show how much tougher it is getting, how many good athletes are coming into the sport.
Yeah.
The equipment's getting better all the time, and so what separates people now?
Mindset. I think a lot of it is your confidence in what you have and what you've been doing and your experience. I mean, we talked about that a little bit before we come out for the team event because Gabriel me and him had shot together in the bronze medal match.
From South Africa.
Yeah. And shot in the bronze medal match at the World Championships in Italy. And he told me how scared he was then and how different it was out to be on the finals field. And so this was a little different. He had already had the experience now. And so, just all in what a person can learn to deal with and dealing with in their head, because it's a whole different game. And I think that's kind of what Mexico's had to deal with here to start with.
Exactly. And now Martha Hernandez here in the second end shoots a much better shot.
Yeah, she's getting the nerves out of her system. She's starting to relax a little bit and figure out what's going on with the wind, how her nerves are going to affect her hand and grip and where the arrows are going to impact.
Alvarado follows up just outside the 9 ring. Possibly a 9, we'll see.
And like I said, being your first time out there, it's always a little, you're out on the stage, it's a different aspect.
It's not a dress rehearsal anymore.
No. It's for all the marbles, as they would say.
Now Inge van Kaspel fires an 8. So the Netherlands, which led by 8 after the opening salvo, giving back perhaps a point. Beautiful shooting by Peter Elzinga, who was ranked #1 in the world back in 2005.
Like I said, Peter's been doing a lot of work, and you can see he's getting there. He's getting his mental game back to get him through the eliminations, and that he'll get there.
Another great shot by Martha Hernandez. So she is rising to the occasion now, as her teammate Gerardo Alvarado, ranked 26th in the world, looking for his first World Cup medal in 2013, and he comes up with a 9, so a much better end. 36 points as compared to the 30 they scored in the first end.
Yeah, like I said, I think a lot of that's nerves. This morning we talked about people making different shots and stuff, and our coach, Coach Lee, was like, hey, how come they made that shot? And a lot of it's just nerves, So.
You mean these people are human?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of humans out here.
Back to Peter now. Last shot of the second end, and it's back inside the 10 ring. Another bullseye for Peter Elzinga. And so the Netherlands in good shape right now here in this match at the midway point.
Yeah, I don't think Peter's missed a 10. He's shooting really good.
Yes, so far as we look at the scores, Peter Elzinga 4 shots, 4 10s. And his partner, Inge van Kaspel, started the match with a bullseye. But 36 points posted by Mexico in this end as compared to 30 in the first end. They've got a total of 66. And the Netherlands with 76 right now. So the lead actually grew from 8 to 10 as the Netherlands posted 37 points in that end. And there you see some of the beautiful scenery, the grounds here around Centennial Hall, which was built over a century ago, and it's a gathering spot for a lot of the folks who live here in Wroclaw, Poland. Good place to be on a Saturday afternoon. Just kind of kick back, lay back in the grass, put your feet in the water, and watch some World Cup archery.
Yeah, hang around by the fountains.
It's what you do in Pocatello all the time, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Good look at the crowd on hand, getting some rays, enjoying the archery. Wrocław, a very good sports city, one of the sports capitals in Europe.
That'll be the home of the World Games here in 4 years.
That's right. By the way, congratulations on the World Games.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. That was a fun event there. Like I said, opening ceremonies was an amazing event. They did a great job. And
40,000 people on hand for that?
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Martha Hernandez coming on right now. This is only her 4th international competition, but starting to get the feel of things.
Yeah, and this is where you learn how they can deal with it, because, I mean, they're down a lot, or they give up, or do they – there comes with the 10. Learning to just kind of stay with it and hang with it and do a good job, because you never know. I mean, look at this morning.
This morning with Colombia and Korea.
Yeah.
Looked like Colombia had it in the bag with 3 shots to go, and all of a sudden, Korea's standing on the victory podium. Yeah. Beautiful shot by Inge van Kaspel, just 22 years old.
Well, it makes it nice when your teammates shooting nothing but 10s that you can relax and put them in there.
By the way, speaking of teammates, your teammate, Braden Gellantine, will join us a little bit later here this afternoon. I think they call that good grouping, don't they?
I'd say. Yeah, like I said, he's really been shooting well. He just has those weird matches where he ain't getting through, and it's kind of sad because, like I said, he's been shooting really well. There's a 10, so she's getting her dial in.
Martha Hernandez shooting well right now. Martha's best result, a mixed team bronze medal at the World University Championships in Spain last year. Shooting for bronze here in Poland. But they'll have to come from behind to do it. But a 9, 10, 10, and 9. 38 points, by far the best end so far for Mexico. And that's what you want to see. You want to see improvement with each end as you go along, although they dug themselves such a deep hole to start off with.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you can't, but you got to look at the positives, because otherwise it's just going to be a down slope. And as a young team, if they're making progress every end, you know that they're learning, and that's, you got to learn with every arrow.
So Peter Elzinga, the final shot of this end, and it appears to be on the line. We'll have to wait and see right there, but right now it looks like it'll either be a 10 or 11 point lead for the Netherlands. And I'm always curious. I mean, you hear about how in different sports it's tough to play with a lead. Is it? I mean, when you get a 10-point lead, you'd rather be 10 up than 10 down.
Oh, 100%.
There's no question about that.
It does get to a point where it's a cruise control, and you have to be careful because it can be a speed trap, you could say, or however you want.
You can check out mentally, can't you?
That's it, 100%. Or you can tell yourself, I can relax and make good shots, and it'll be enough. I won't have to worry about it. But you never can tell. I mean, you can go from, I mean, I was in Turkey a couple years ago on pace for a 150, had one bad end right there to finish, shot a 148, tied with a gentleman, and he beat me in the 1 arrow shoot off, so I was out. So go from shooting really well to that, you know, you can't fall asleep at the wheel.
But I would imagine it's tough to tell yourself when you're 10 up, try to fool your mind and make you think, well, we're tied up, or it's a 1-point match or something like that. You know what the situation is.
Yeah, and it's just the hardest thing, the biggest thing you got to tell yourself is just shoot your own score. Doesn't matter what the guy on the other side has or the team or whatever, you got to shoot your own score. And if you do that, usually most of the time it'll take care of itself.
Stay within your own little world, Real Wild.
That's it.
Just create your own little box and stay inside that box and shoot.
Yep, my own little Idaho.
Everywhere he goes.
Yep.
Pocatello, Poland,
yeah.
It's about the same.
Yeah.
So here we go. And it is a 10-point lead right now for the Netherlands. Martha Hernandez with another strong shot.
Like I said, I think she's getting a little more comfortable, being able to execute a little better. But the tough part is you're frustrated now a little bit because you're like, oh man, I was so amped up and I shouldn't have been.
And Alvarado with a good shot. Sometimes I think the toughest part is just the waiting. You're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting. You get to go and warm up, but then, you know, all of a sudden it's here.
Yeah, oh yeah, and it's the alternating shot does a great deal with like putting the pressure on or taking the pressure off, so it does a lot. Even though it can be a little bit of a bad situation where one team gets less win than the other team, but it does do a better job of keeping pressure on, not for others. Yeah,
you talked about it a moment ago about the fact that during qualifications you can shoot 2 arrows in a row. You don't have to rotate.
Yeah.
You prefer that, or I've noticed the American team always seems to rotate. Is that just so you get into the groove of that and it carries over into the matches?
Yeah, a lot of the guys, me and Braden are pretty much 2 guys that are doing it with all the teams, and the big thing we always tell each other is we want this to be no different than when we walk out there than when we are in the regular deal, because mentally you handle it better. I mean, we have some of the girls on some of the teams that when they shoot, they're like, oh, we want to just shoot our 2 arrows, and I'm like, man, you're so further ahead if you'll practice what you're going to be doing, and it usually pays off, and we've been, as the United States men, have been very, very lucky and done very well.
Practice the way you play.
That's it.
Terrific end for Mexico. Great job by Mexico to finish off with 3 10s out of the 4 shots in that 4th and final end. They post a 39. So Mexico got progressively better. 30, 36, 38, 39.
They're going to get a few back here. Not enough, but a few.
With Peter Elzinga on the line, needing only 3 to win, I think my money's on Peter.
Yeah.
And he comes through with a 10 to finish it off in style, and an 8-point victory for the Dutch duo over Mexico. And so Peter Elzinga will go home with a medal today, as the Dutch duo takes the bronze medal in the mixed team competition, and the young duo from Mexico, Alvarado just 27 and Martha Hernandez 23. Good experience for them.
Oh, definitely.
And this will serve them well down the road.
Yeah, and like I said, we have Worlds coming up in a month, and so it's a really good deal for. And that was one of the things USA Archery wanted us to do, was travel with our team if we could, so that we could get used to the more grouping, because every little bit helps. And the nice part with us is we got Jesse with me and Braden. Me and Braden do it enough. You throw Jesse, another great archer, in there. We've done it at a bunch of different world championships, so it's something that we're pretty used to. But for young guys like this, I mean, you don't know, have they ever even been out in that situation?